everyone. I hope you're doing well and are having a flare-free day. It is quite the moody afternoon weather-wise, so I thought what better day to turn to our journals and write down some thoughts and feelings that we're having in our chronic illness journey. If you're new to journaling, welcome. I remember at the beginning of my journaling journey, I didn't think much of it. I had never done it before, and I just thought, what impact can journaling actually have on how I'm feeling day to day? I didn't think that it would have a huge impact on how I felt physically and emotionally, but over time, letting out my emotions and coming face to face with how I was feeling actually allowed me to have this huge weight off my shoulders, and it allowed me to actually move on with my day instead of focusing all the time on my illness. It allowed me to have a safe place to write that no one else would have access to. Oftentimes we bottle up emotions, especially in a chronic illness journey, and it can be really heavy at times. Having a safe place like a journal to write down our thoughts and feelings, either 5 minutes in the day or hours in the day to write, it can be really therapeutic. So in today's video, I thought that I could provide 15 specific journal prompts that you can use for your chronic illness journey. If you've been journaling for a while, I'd love to hear your experience around how it has helped your journey with a chronic illness. And if you're new to journaling, I'd love to hear how these journal prompts feel to you if you test them out in the next couple of days, weeks, or months. Also, a trigger warning that these journal prompts can sometimes trigger unwarranted emotions. So if one of these triggers you, feel free to not write about it in your journal and just bypass it to the next one. Oftentimes when we come face to face with emotions that relate to a traumatic experience, it can be really hard to delve into if we're not in a mental headspace to take it on. So definitely come back to this video when you feel ready to take on those journal prompts that you've skipped in the past. Also, feel free to never go back to these prompts if they do trigger you. Your journal should be a safe place, and so some journal prompts may never be suited for you because you just don't want to ever go back to that mindset or that experience that you've lived through. The first journal prompt that helped me is talking about my diagnosis day. Describe your emotions and thoughts during that diagnosis day. If you haven't had a diagnosis, how have you been feeling recently about your chronic illness or the symptoms that you're experiencing every day? From your diagnosis day, how have your feelings evolved since that moment? The next prompt can focus on daily struggles. Write about specific challenges that you're facing right now in your chronic illness journey. How do these difficulties impact your day-to-day life? I find that writing about these can actually help identify ways in which we can pinpoint, locate, and address what's actually not fitting into our routine anymore. When I wrote about my daily struggles, I realized that I should be probably asking for more help and support around the house or from family and friends. I also realized that I can't take on certain activities anymore because it just is too much with my chronic illness right now in this moment in time. Prompt number 3 is your support system. Something that we often forget about in a chronic illness journey is who is there in our circle that is supporting us. Reflect on the people on this journal prompt that have impacted you in a positive way throughout your chronic illness journey. How has their presence made a huge impact on your journey? Also, if they come to the forefront, feel free to reach out to them after you journal just to say, hey, thank you so much for supporting me. It means a lot in my chronic illness journey. Health milestones. Document any significant milestones or achievements that you've received in your chronic illness journey to date. How did you celebrate those moments? If you haven't celebrated those moments yet, now is the time to do it this week or this month. Handling flare-ups. How do you handle flare-ups that come forward? Or how do you manage symptoms that are sometimes more severe than other days? What strategies do you use to cope in those challenging moments? Wishes and dreams. Again, living with a chronic illness can sometimes be a damper on our days. Write about your aspirations and dreams for the future, even with your chronic illness in place. How can you stay motivated to achieve these goals? Coping mechanisms. List any coping mechanisms that you've implemented into your chronic illness journey to date. Have any of these had any impact on your physical, emotional, or spiritual well-being? Lessons from setbacks. If you've had any setbacks recently, what have you learned from those experiences? Self-identity and illness. Reflecting on how my chronic illness has impacted my identity was a hard truth to come towards, so this is definitely a trigger warning for this prompt. If you do decide to take it on, reflect on how your chronic illness has impacted your self-identity. How do you maintain a sense of self amidst a challenging illness? Living in the present. How do you stay present and focused with positive energy while living with a chronic illness that is sometimes unpredictable? Advocacy and education. Have you become an advocate for your chronic illness or similar chronic illnesses? Write about your experience in advocating for your health or more awareness around your disease. Favorite distractions. List activities or hobbies that provide a beautiful sense of distraction away from your chronic illness. How do these activities allow you to have a sense of normalcy in your day? Positive encounters. Oftentimes in our chronic illness journey, we come across healthcare providers or medical practitioners that can sometimes not believe our story or gaslight us. So in this instance, I want you to write about a positive encounter that you've had recently with a healthcare provider. What was positive about that experience and how did they make you feel in that moment? Acceptance and resilience. Reflect on your chronic illness journey towards acceptance and the resilience you've adapted along the way. Managing frustrations. Write about the frustrations that come with living with a chronic illness. How do you handle those constructively? I hope to make this a series on my YouTube channel so that you can have a place to go to or turn to if you're looking for more prompts in your chronic illness journey. I cannot wait to hear how you find these prompts in the comments down below. With that, I can't wait to talk to you and share some more journal prompts in the next video. Happy writing.